Boys and girls, what's so great about Gustav Klimt's artwork is that it's become so famous that people recognize it even if they're not seeing it in its original form. For example, in Nicaragua, they used his art as inspiration for these big lit up trees that they have going down the street, and each one looks exactly like a Gustav Klimt tree. On these shoes, you can see that the tree of life is on there. And here in fashion, they actually have the designs that he put on the robe. And these earrings have the colors and the designs of one of the robes that he wore as well. Here you can see some recognizable characters that have been switched out for the kiss. So embarrassing. And I love these earrings. These earrings have the swirls that we see in the Tree of Life, which is super cool. And this is a Christmas card. If you remember the kind of suspicious looking girl, that looks like her dress. But what's cool is that the artist that I was inspired by today, actually she was inspired by Gustav Klimt. And by looking at her art, it's like, well, it's not gold and silver. But you can see that she really enjoyed looking at all the different patterns and all the little pieces of things put together to make these drawings. So we're going to be getting inspired by that in our project today, where we are going to be making a vase with leaves as well. You're going to start off with two pieces of paper. One is the background paper that we painted last week, where half was solidish and half had, designs. And then I made a photocopy of your artwork that you had done before, and I had copied it. You're going to take that copy and put it back behind the paper just to kind of get it out of your way. And you are going to cut your background paper in half. At this point, you have to make a huge decision and decide which one do you want to glue on your official papier. That one that you don't use, you can just set it back there behind your big paper for later. You'll be using it in a bit. You're going to put glue on there and you're going to glue it to the bottom half of the paper. Now you're going to pull back out that copied piece and fold it in half. Your job is going to be to choose a vase. And a vase is symmetrical, just like a butterfly, where on the left it's the same size as the right on most vases. And if you look at half of the vase, you'll see that the other half is the same. So if you fold a piece of paper in half, sometimes people like to even label the folded side, but I have all these different vase ideas for you. And if you fold a piece of paper in half and draw just half of it, it will end up being a full vase. So if I draw like I have there on the left onto the fold, it just might end up looking like my vase. So starting on the folded side, I am drawing half of the vase. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut through both of the pieces of paper. Can anyone visualize what that's going to look like when I open it up? There it is. I've got this gorgeous vase. Let me show you again. If I like how that vase looks, then I'm going to draw half of it on the folded side. Now, if you draw your vase and you're like, that is microscopic, then no big deal. Just extend it and just kind of say, don't cut there. And extend the top, don't cut there. And then when you cut, ignore the squiggly parts. You don't have to erase them, because when you open it up, no one's going to see it, ever. Now you have to decide where you're going to put your vase. It's kind of nice to put it lower on the paper so you have more space for your designs. Now you're going to outline the vase using black oil pastel, and you're going to draw a little shadow so that we're pretending that the light is hitting it from the other side and making a shadow. Now you're going to do curly cues. If you didn't have breakfast and you do it really light, go back over it and do it nice and dark. You're going to make a whole bunch of branches. And notice how I have the branches, the curly cues coming off from previous curly cues. I have it going to the right, to the left. You can even have it go all the way up onto that black border. Now remember that sweet little piece of paper? He's back. And now you're going to use him for drawing out leaves. I'm using my handy dandy green leaf idea sheet, and I'm looking at the paper that I painted and going, where could I draw leaves and even strategically use some of the stuff you used last week? You're going to glue all 4 of those leaves on, and then you get to go to my leaf shop. You are going to get to take 1 leaf from each bin. This is only one I'm showing you here. You're going to take 1 leaf from each bin. You're going to bring them back to your table, and you're going to glue them all over your paper, and it's going to look awesome. But when you're done, you're not done. Sorry. You're going to look back at that green leaf sheet, and you're going to make amazing details on your leaves. Oh, yes, you are. Now, if you feel like you are finished, you can quit. But if you want to be a little overachiever, you can use this idea sheet and add flowers, and also you can add a border. Please don't choose to do this if you think you're going to be sloppy about it. If you want to do a nice job, then go ahead. Otherwise, you can quit with your leaves. Notice here, these are my kindergartners that have drawn leaves on their paper using metallic markers, which is so smart. They already have a design on there, and they're carefully cutting out their leaves. This person is actually drawing on the leaves. Look at, there's Bianca. Look at what a nice job she's doing, drawing designs on the leaves that she got from the leaf store even. This person's putting on some great stuff. Tyler, with his very nice hairdo there, is designing some stuff on there. And William is going to town on a beautiful border. He finished the whole thing. Now, let's review. When you sit down, you're going to see background paper, and you're going to see the copy of your art from last week. You are going to get rid of that copied paper for now. You're going to say, toodle-dee-doo, my friend. And you are going to look at the paper that you used last week. You're going to look for the crease. You're going to take your scissors and cut it in half. While you're cutting, you're going to be thinking to yourself, which side am I going to use for my official artwork, and which one am I going to put into leaves? Your leafy one, kiss it, say goodbye. That's the chosen. So you're going to take him, say, I'll see you later. Bye-bye. You're going to come back to the front, and you're going to glue that down there so that you can move on to making your vase. Remember, with your vase, you're going to fold the copied piece of paper. We'll be here to help you. Have fun.